Welcome to One Round. I'm your host, Darrell Dawsey. Of all of Detroit's most recent scandals, it's surely the most disturbing. A powerful politician, a vulnerable teenage mentee, allegations of sexual exploitation. Indeed, the scandal centering around the former Detroit City Council President Charles Pugh has been sleazy, to say the least. He's accused of coercing a young man he was mentoring into a sexually inappropriate relationship. But did Pugh commit a crime? The police have suggested that he may have. Still, prosecutors in 2 counties have declined to charge him. Meanwhile, Charles Pugh has vanished, having gone missing from Detroit since this scandal broke in June. Now, here to discuss the case with us and where it will go from here is Bill Seikaly, the attorney representing the young man's family. Bill, welcome to One Round.
Thank you, Darrell.
Thanks for being here.
Pleasure to be here.
So, should Charles Pugh have been charged?
Well, you know, as the attorney for the family, I don't get to make that decision. Prosecutors do. I disagree slightly with what you told the audience. First of all, I don't believe that Prosecutors Worthy's office has really examined the case and made a decision. Okay. Nor do I think they will. Okay. I think they're far too challenged to be able to be involved.
You mean with other things in terms of their funding, budgets, that kind of thing?
I think that the word on the street amongst attorneys is, if there's no body, she doesn't have time for it. Her office.
Because this is not a murder, in other words. Okay.
Bigger crimes from their perspective. Okay. But that's the way it is, unfortunately, with the funding issues. In terms of what happened in Oakland County and whether or not the prosecutor in Oakland County should have charged, she and I have a disagreement. But, you know, if you get 2 attorneys in the room, you'll probably have 3 different opinions. Okay. I don't think there's any question that his conduct rose to the level of criminal sexual conduct. And I think that most attorneys who have looked at this agree. And I think that even the prosecutor's office has indicated that if it would have all happened in Oakland County, their decision might well have been different. Okay, all right. So then if there are not going to be any criminal charges against them, where does the case go from here? Well, it can go to a lot of different places. First of all, I don't know that the state's ever looked at it. The state may look at it, especially considering the position that Pugh had at the time. But there is likely to be a civil action against Pugh and others for allowing this to go on. Now, there are a lot of people who have come out who raised a lot of skepticism about this early on. They wondered why the mother decided to go to the media, go to the attorneys instead of going to the police first. I was wondering if you could speak to that a little bit. What happened with that? I mean, I'd like to talk to all those folks out there who made a decision to trash this poor mother. Well, we didn't trash her necessarily, but folks were skeptical. I was one of them. That's fine, and I'm really talking about the people who wrote on various websites under various stories about how this woman was looking for this or looking for that. You're facing somebody who is the second most powerful man in the city of Detroit, and you're afraid that he has an inappropriate relationship with your child. What do? And the answer for somebody who doesn't have a lot of means is that you go to the press and try and get some help to brush this guy back. Should she have done it that way? Well, with hindsight, I would have preferred that she would have come straight to my office. She didn't. But let me point out, if you've read any of the texts, if you've read the police report, this woman was right. And nobody is lining up to apologize. So just because she made a bad strategic move does not mean that this did not happen. Let's talk about some of these text messages. I mean, we've seen some of this stuff, and I got to tell you, it's pretty disgusting. But from what I understand, there are even worse texts out there that we haven't seen. Yeah, I think that the public would be truly disgusted. Can you characterize some of this stuff? I will tell you that they are as explicit and as disturbing of text messages as you would ever see. I've read most of the text messages involving the former mayor, Kwame Kilpatrick. They're worse. Okay, all right. Well, listen, Bill Seikaly, I want to say thank you so much. Thank you. I really enjoy what you guys have been doing at Deadline in Detroit, and it's a privilege. And I hope you can stick around. We may want to get you for a second round of One Round. We'll talk about that. All right. This is Darrell Dawsey. This has been One Round. Thank you so much for watching.